Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight in order to celebrate my mother, Julie McFarland. It was 50 years ago tonight that she was born in a small town in Idaho to Diane and Terry Pierce. 18 months later, she became a big sister when my Uncle Todd was born. About 4 years after that, my Aunt Bethany came along to round out the family. I love hearing all of the stories about their crazy adventures while they were growing up. My Aunt Bethany still loves to talk about how my mom practically raised her. That doesn't really surprise me. Those of you who know her know how caring and nurturing she is. For as much as my mom supposedly raised her younger siblings, they also had their fair share of fighting, more than my brother and I could ever get away with. One of my favorite stories is how one day my mom got so fed up with her brother that she pushed him out the window of their house. Luckily, he did not get hurt too bad. Another one of my favorite stories is when my mom would have to chase my Aunt Bethany around while she was naked because she refused to take her bath. With all of these crazy adventures, it sounds like they had a pretty good childhood. When my mom was 15, she started dating a jock. He did basketball, he did football, he did swimming. He even lifeguarded during the summer, but he was still somehow blindingly white. They became inseparable, and somehow, despite all the odds, they are still together 35 years later. Not only are they still together, they still like each other. And I think that's something we can all learn from. That man was my father, Brad McFarland. Brad graduated from Marsh Valley High School in 1986, and he moved down to Salt Lake City to attend the University of Utah. My mom's family moved to Idaho Falls that year. She graduated from Idaho Falls the next year in 1987. After her graduation, she moved down to Salt Lake to be closer to my dad. She likes to tell the story of how she had to write an essay to the school in order to ask them to let her be admitted because her ACT scores were not high enough. That perseverance and knowing what you want has continued throughout her life. She knew that she wanted to be near my dad, and she made it work. A year later, in 1988, her and my dad, Brad, were married. She will be the first to admit that her main reason for going to school was to be near my dad. But while she was there, she found her passion. That passion is teaching. She went on to get her master's in special education, and she has been a teacher for the last 27 years. During that time as a teacher, she has touched countless lives. She has students that tell her all the time how amazing she is and how much she has changed their lives. She has also received many awards and accommodations, including being named Teacher of the Year in 2014. Excuse me. She still is loved by many of her other children, as my brother and I have fondly called all of her students throughout the years. Which brings me to her single greatest accomplishment, me. Just kidding. My brother and I are among some of her best accomplishments, though. She had me 25 years ago and my brother 21 years ago. She has been the most amazing mother that anyone could ask for, and so it is with great pleasure that we are here celebrating the last 50 years of her life and wishing her a happy another 50 years. I can't wait to see what you do with them, Mom. Love you. Thank you.